I couldn't believe how quickly a fun camping trip turned into the kind of nightmare. This happened with me and my friend back in 2020. My friend and I decided to go for a hike. Not a popular trail, not marked on any map, just some path we stumbled upon deep in the woods while looking for a quiet day outside. The morning was clear. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, birds chirping, the smell of wet dirt and pine in the air. Everything felt normal, safe. We had been walking for about 2 hours, talking about nothing in particular, joking around, laughing at our own tiredness. The woods stretched on in every direction. I felt completely relaxed. Then we started noticing it, a feeling, a weight on the back of our necks, like someone was following us. I stopped, glanced over my shoulder. Nothing, just trees. My friend shook his head. "It's nothing," he said. I nodded, but the feeling didn't leave. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sounded sharper. We checked multiple times over the next 10 minutes. No one. I even laughed quietly at myself, tried to shake the feeling. But then, I saw her, a girl, standing a few dozen feet behind us. She was just standing there, bag slung over one shoulder, boots muddy, like she'd been hiking too. At first, I thought she was another hiker. Then I realized she was stunning. Not just pretty, something about her made my chest tighten. For a second, I nearly tripped on a root just staring. We called out, asking why she was following us. She hesitated, then said quietly, I lost the path." Her voice was calm, but her eyes darted to the trees behind us. She looked the part of a hiker, so we invited her to join us. I couldn't stop glancing at her. There was something magnetic, pulling me in. I felt the first sting of attraction. We walked for another 30 minutes. At first, conversation flowed, but then her behavior changed. She started glancing behind us constantly, her pace uneven, like she was waiting for something. I didn't notice at first. My friend did. "I need to pee," he said suddenly, motioning for me to go with him. Out of sight of her, he whispered, voice low, "Bro, I think this girl isn't what she seems. Maybe gang, maybe trouble. I don't trust her." I froze. He was serious. Part of me agreed. My chest twisted, not just with fear, but with the pull I felt toward her. I didn't know what to do. We regrouped. She was waiting a few meters ahead. Then she spoke, voice tense. "They're following us." I froze. "Who?" I asked. Before I even entered the woods, 2 men. Looked like criminals. "I think they're still here. When you want to pee." I saw them. I swallowed hard. Then I heard it. A heavy fall somewhere off the trail. Branches snapping under weight. Footsteps crunching on dry leaves. Close. Adrenaline hit. My friend grabbed my arm. "We leave. Now." We started walking faster. The girl kept pace, glancing behind again and again. Every step made my heart pound. Every rustle felt louder. Every shadow suspicious. My stomach churned, my mouth dry. I could hear my friend's uneven breathing next to me. Then something moved ahead of us. Just a shape between the trees. I couldn't tell what it was at first. My friend whispered, "Stay calm. Maybe it's just wildlife." But instinct screamed at me. This wasn't normal. A branch cracked loudly behind us. We froze. Footsteps. Heavy. Slow. Approaching. The girl stopped, pressing her back to a tree. "They're getting closer. We need to split off." I glanced at her, terrified, and in awe at the same time. My heart was a drum in my chest. My friend whispered again, "Bro, she could be bait, or worse. Don't let her charm fool you." I nodded. I didn't want to, but I couldn't look away from her. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. "They're here." I turned slowly, just in time to see shadows moving between the trees. 2 figures, silent, watching, waiting. We bolted. My pack bounced, boots pounding. Leaves and branches slapped my arms and face. My lungs burned. The forest was suddenly alive, every sound amplified. Every snapped twig sounded like an alarm. Footsteps behind us, deliberate, patient, closing the distance. The girl ran with us. I could see her breathing, her eyes wide, but focused. Part of me trusted her instinctively. Part of me screamed not to. We stumbled back to a small clearing near the edge of the woods. My friend was pale, shaking, sweat streaked across his face. The girl slowed, catching her breath, finally looking at us with something almost human, relief. I didn't stop looking at her. The fear didn't erase the pull I felt. My heart racing. I managed to get her number before she disappeared down a side trail. A small, selfish hope. That part of her stayed in my world. The forest had gone silent behind us. No footsteps, no shadows, just the normal rustling of wind through the trees. My friend was jittery, muttering, "We need to leave. Now." I agreed, voice low. We didn't look back. Saturday later. I keep thinking about that day. The girl, the shadows, the fall, the footsteps. I don't know who they were. I don't know if she was really being hunted or if it was a trap for us. The woods felt alive in a way I couldn't explain. I don't hike alone anymore. And sometimes, late at night, I imagine the shadows moving silently behind the trees. Sometimes, I think she's still out there. This happened back in the summer of 2022. I decided to take a solo hiking trip just to get away from everything. No trails, no other people, just me and the forest. I picked a random location outside town, parked my car at the edge of the trees around 10 a.m., and started walking. At first, it was completely normal. Birds chirping, sunlight falling in patches through the branches, my boots crunching over dry leaves. I had a small backpack, water, some snacks. I paused every so often to drink, to lean against a tree, enjoying the quiet, almost safe. About 30 minutes in, I heard something, at first, soft like a twig snapping far off the trail. I froze. Maybe a deer, maybe a branch falling. Then I heard it again, closer, faster, and it wasn't just one set of footsteps. There were at least 3, maybe 4 people, moving quickly, almost panicked, running. My stomach twisted. My mind immediately went to worst-case scenarios. Were they being chased? A robbery? A hunter accident? I remember a news story about campers disappearing in these same woods. Their tents left standing, food half-cooked, no trace of them anywhere. Then I heard it, the first gunshot, far off, sharp enough to make my chest tighten. My hands went cold. My legs froze for a second. Was it hunters? Or someone in trouble? Were the people running trying to escape? Were they being hurt? Every possibility made my heart pound faster. The footsteps stopped. Dead silence. The kind of silence that makes every hair on your body stand up. I strained my ears. Nothing. And then, the second gunshot. Much closer. So close it vibrated in my chest. Birds exploded from the trees overhead, screeching. I dropped into a crouch without thinking. Hands shaking violently. Breathing ragged. Legs stiff. Hard to move. I had to get out. I turned toward where I thought my car was, but the trees all looked the same. Every turn felt wrong. I stumbled over roots, twisted my ankle slightly, cursed under my breath. Every snap of a branch behind me made me jump. Every shadow felt like someone stepping closer. Adrenaline pumping, heart pounding. Thought I might collapse. I remember another story, older. A hiker who vanished completely. Backpack found neatly on the trail. Boots side by side. No footprints leading away. Could that happen to me? Could I be next? I forced myself to move faster, shoving panic down, trying to follow the path my car must have been on. Minutes passed like hours, my breathing loud in the quiet forest. Every crunch of leaves behind me, every rustle in the bushes, made me flinch violently. I imagined every possibility. Someone with a gun, a trap, an ambush, or worse, no one at all. Just some unknown force, tracking me, waiting. Finally, through the dense trees, I saw it. The dirt pull off. My car. Relief slammed into me, but fear didn't leave. I sprinted, twisted my ankle slightly again, keys shaking in my hand. Unlocked the door, slammed it, locked it, sank into the driver's seat, chest heaving, hands trembling. I sat there a long time, not moving, just listening. The forest was quiet again. Too quiet. No footsteps. No birds. No sign that anything had been there. But my mind kept replaying it. The gunshots, the running, the possibilities, what might have been happening, or what might still be happening. I didn't go back to that trail. I might have been a witness to something still unfolding, even after I ran. And that's the thing that stays with me. The forest looked calm, almost innocent from the edge of my car. But somewhere in there, it wasn't. And I'll never know what was really happening. This happened with me back in late October, a few years ago. I had been hiking alone, trying to escape the city for a long weekend. The forest I chose wasn't marked on any map, just a random stretch of old pines I found after turning off the main trail. The sun was low, around 5 p.m. Light slanted gold through the trees, turning everything familiar into shadows, into shapes that didn't feel quite right. I had been walking for hours when I stumbled across it. A small cabin, tucked between two tall oaks, half hidden by ivy and moss. It looked abandoned, decades untouched, windows dusty, wood gray and splintering. I hesitated. Staying outside in the cold with night approaching didn't appeal to me, so I pushed the door open. Inside, the air was stale, but not foul. Sunlight slanted through cracks in the walls, highlighting dust motes floating lazily. A wooden table sat in the corner, a few broken chairs scattered around. The floorboards creaked as I stepped in. It felt safe, almost absurdly safe compared to the endless dark forest outside. I set my backpack down, took off my jacket, sat for a moment, just breathing. Then I heard it, a soft scrape, like someone dragging a foot across leaves, outside. At first, I thought it was an animal, maybe a deer. But the sound stopped the moment I froze. Then it started again, slower this time. Step, pause. I peered through the dusty window. Nothing, just the trees, the forest quiet, but alive with shadows. I tried to laugh, tried to tell myself it was nerves, but my heart was hammering in my chest. Every instinct screamed something was wrong. I went back to my pack, trying to focus. Maybe 10 minutes, then I'd keep moving. But then I heard again, closer, a soft thump against the outer wall. Someone testing the cabin. My stomach twisted. I moved toward the door. Turned the handle. It didn't budge. Locked? No lock. The door simply wouldn't open. My hand shook as I jiggled it. Step, scrape. Someone moving just outside, circling the cabin. I pressed my ear to the wood, listening. Pulse in my throat. Every nerve screaming at me to run. Desperately, I looked around. The window, small, low to the ground, my only chance. I grabbed my pack, shoved it aside, climbed through. Glass cut my hands, cold bit my skin, but I didn't care. I hit the dirt outside and ran. Branches whipped at my face, roots grabbed my boots, every sound in the forest echoing like footsteps behind me. I didn't stop until I reached a small clearing. I slowed, chest heaving, tried to convince myself I was imagining it. But then I heard again. The soft shuffle, too deliberate to be a deer, too rhythmic to be anything natural. I froze. I didn't know if they were chasing me, or just waiting, maybe hiding behind a tree, ready to strike when I walked by. I ran again, faster this time. Direction didn't matter, only distance from the cabin. Legs burning, lungs screaming, adrenaline keeping me moving. The forest stretched endlessly. Trees like black sentinels, watching. I tripped over a root, fell hard, scraping my knees and palms, but kept going. Hours later, I finally made it back to my car on the main trail. Hollow relief washed over me. I didn't look back, didn't stop, drove straight home, hands wide on the steering wheel. A week later, I got a call from the local ranger station. My backpack had been found, just where I left it near the cabin. The zipper was undone. My belongings neatly rearranged. Nothing missing. Everything laid out in order. Someone had known exactly where to find each item. I never went back, and I don't know who or what was out there in the forest that day. But I know that someone had been watching, waiting, and maybe they're still there.